You guys know Angie's my main girl, but we're in an open relationship, open only on my end, of course, closed on her end. But she gets certain benefits that other girls will never get. She's a great girl.
Get what you can get out of that man. He will give it to you out of guilt for not loving you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Cafe Belmont. My name is James Belmont. Thank you for joining me. Today, I wanted to talk about how grifters ruined dating and how they use the opposite sex, or they blame the opposite sex, to profit. These types of creators are very convincing, and if you are not aware of what they are saying, you may subconsciously be affected, and your dating life as a result may be affected. The goal of this video is to identify some of these things so that you can have a better relationship with your partner. A few years ago, I noticed a particular type of content creator came online to give advice on dating. Some of the things that they say are valid, and some things can be used to better our relationship with our partner. But on the other hand, there are influencers who use the fact that some people view the opposite sex as absolute demons that need to be destroyed to profit. So they align their content to cater to those people. Instead of calling out certain habits that may prevent their audience from getting into a good relationship or fixing their current relationship. With this comes two sides of the same coin. One type of content is specifically geared towards catering to women, and the other towards catering to men. Generally speaking, the whole message of each of these groups is how one sex is superior to the other, and how the sex that is inferior should be beneath the one that is more powerful in the relationship. For the content that is geared towards men primarily, their whole argument is that men are the superior ones in the relationship and the women should be beneath them. And for the women, the opposite is true. The woman is the one that is supposed to be the head, and the men should be beneath them, worshiping them for the most part.
You guys know Angie's my main girl, but we're in an open relationship, open only on my end, of course, closed on her end. But she gets certain benefits that other girls will never get. She's a great girl.
Because as a woman, you have value just by existing. And a lot of people don't want you to know that. Simply existing with a man, you're already doing him a favor, because you bring so much to the table just by existing with him, just by allowing him 24/7 access to you.
For the men, a specific content creator would be the Fresh and Fit podcast, very popular one that has male focused content and explores ideas like how the man is the table, how they're so much better than a woman, and why the woman should always obey the man, something along those lines. An example for the ladies would be a content creator that goes by the name of Manifestel, who primarily caters towards women. She uses buzzwords like how women are the prize, how men should worship women, things like that. Very similar to what the red pillars are saying. Again, one coin, just different sides. They repeat the same message over and over again, but with different words and with the opposite sex in mind. I find her content hilarious. I almost wonder if she did this on purpose, because most of her talking points are traditionally male focused, meaning that a person that sees the man as the leader and the superior sex in the relationship would have these talking points. It is strange, some of her talking points as well, because she would say things that don't really make a lot of sense. For example, she would say things like, men benefit more from being in the friend zone because he is using her, the woman, as a trophy to make himself look good. Weird.
For the longest time that you've been friends with them, they have liked you for all that time. So you just allowed him to date you for years on end, getting all the benefits of a relationship with you, draining you, using you in the games of men, using you as a status symbol, all under the guise of friendship.
I think this argument traditionally aligns with a typical male and female dynamic where the guy likes the girl. From my experience, regardless of the sex, anybody that is in the friend zone can be taken advantage of. It is just that the male experience is more popular and well documented, where the guy gets taken advantage of in the relationship. Back to the creator in question, just like other creators before her, she saw a market that has a need and she could supply that need. Do I think it is real? No. I think she's just playing a role, that is all. Half of the things that she's saying does not make any sense and sounds like what a red pill content creator would say about another woman. But what I do worry about is the fact that most people can't necessarily tell the difference between the two. How they're telling you one thing and then they're doing the opposite doesn't really make any sense.
I would not be where I am today without her teachings. She is really helping women to realize their worth and value and not just laying around with any old man, boy, dusty, what so have you.
But it doesn't really matter in the end because for them, they are making money. But people genuinely go outside after hearing things like this and applying it to their everyday life. And it hardly ever goes well. Here's my philosophy when it comes to dating. I can only talk about my experience as a guy. When a woman likes you, you do not have to do too much to keep her attention. You really have to mess up in order for her to stop liking you. She will try her best to be around you at all times because you make her feel better. You make her feel heard. She might even see a future with you. But most importantly, you make her feel safe. She feels safe around you. That's good enough for most women outside of provisions and money. But those should be the primary things that girls are looking for. I've heard stories of guys having casual relations with women and the sex isn't necessarily good, but the girl, they would stay because the person that they are with makes them feel better about themselves, makes them feel better about life, makes them feel happy and seen and heard. Regardless if the sex is good or not, most girls, they stick around purely for that because they like the guy and they like the way the guy makes them feel. In my day-to-day life, I've never heard a person say, I'm the prize, I'm the table, I'm the alpha. Because I do believe that if you have to say it, it's probably not true. A person who knows who he is does not have to outwardly proclaim it. A king or a queen does not need to say that they're a king or a queen. They just are. At the end of the day, dating, relationships are all about compatibility and compromise. Not every single requirement for a relationship on your list is going to be met. It's about seeing how the person you are with is willing to compromise on certain things and how you interact with each other. Through those experiences, you will see if you have a future together. In conclusion, relationships are already difficult. Finding one even more so. You shouldn't allow another person's opinion online dictate how you run your relationship, especially if they're not following the advice that they give you. This has been Cafe Belmont. My name is James Belmont. Thank you for joining me. Before I go, tell somebody in your life that you love them, and I will see you soon. Take care.